Hi folks, and welcome to the Filmonic channel. And I'm in the woods. It's really lovely out here, and I got that feeling. I don't know if you know that, and if you can relate to that. That there's this tipping point of spring finally there, and so I'm really enjoying myself. And I thought I would want to talk to you about a custom that I have picked up over the years, or which actually took roots in my childhood. And what this is whittling a stick. And this is I'm saying that because obviously I hope it's a little bit more than just whittling a stick. But I also want to make clear that it's not so special. It's nothing to brag about, or nothing that's some in any way esoteric. And I need to say that because it can be sort of an exercise in whittling, but also sort of, and please get my meaning right, of a spiritual practice. And to me, it's a little bit in line with the concept of rewilding as I understand it. Now, I must emphasize that rewilding is sort of controversial, and it's not all roses, and it's something that's the Nazis were very fond of human rewilding, and they meant returning to the law of the jungle. And but that's not what this is about. Rewilding is not about survival of the fittest, or the law of the strongest, or what have you. But rewilding is about reconnecting with nature, and let's be honest, in a way, that's more of a leisure activity than dedicated rewilding, because that's pretty difficult these days, because nature is deteriorating fast, and if you were to connect to the wilderness, you will go the same way. And I'm experiencing that at the moment, and that's not fun actually. And what's left of nature is still wonderful, awesome, and still inspiring. And it is about this inspiration that I want to talk to you about now, because it is about inspiration, and it's more like, when I was a kid, my father and I were going on a hike, and or the bimble, or what have you. And it was sort of a ritual that we always went to some hazel brush, and we cut ourselves some, or my father cut for me, hazel stick for hiking. And during the hike, we would sometimes obviously take a rest and snack on all the goodies that my mother packed for us, and really fond memories. And when we were down snacking, we often would sit on a bench and whittle a stick. And he showed me how to debark and carve simple ornaments. And a hazel stick is pretty great for that, because when it's fresh, it's pretty soft, and it dries out pretty hard and pretty sturdy and resilient. So if you want to make yourself a nice stick, one option is certainly cutting yourself a hazel stick. Over the years, this has sort of evolved because, well, I wasn't content with the simple ornaments anymore, and I wanted a richly decorated sorcerer's staff or druid staff or what have you. And then I was like whittling stuff into that stick, and so it turned out okay-ish. But over the years I learned stuff and learned, hopefully, how to be a little bit more elaborate on my whittlings and stuff. And some people actually seem to like what I do, so I even got paid for it recently. Really rare and astonishing feeling that someone values what I'm doing. No whining intended, it's just a joke. And over the years, I've collected a lot of sticks, and I'm neurospicy. I'm weird like that, and not an excuse for everything, as still have to make do in this life. And the thing is, I pretty much collected several sticks, and they are sitting in my living room, and I even brought some out into the forest again, hopefully for someone else to enjoy, because if they are sitting in my living room not doing anything, well, that's I hope that someone finds them and enjoys them and loves them, and because we are all relatives. See, it's always in the family. But my some sticks I still whittle just for the hoot of it, and it's always that wood spirit on top of them. But some sticks, some staffs actually do convey meaning to me. And why is that so? Because I cut a stick of special wood often, and then I will start whittling at the beginning of the year. And as I said, it's often, most of the time, it's a guy like that. And I started this it's at the beginning of the year or something. This is a stick from holly, and I just did the whittling with a Swiss Army knife, so it's not nowhere near as elaborate as I would like it. I will elaborate on it, however, soon. And how this works is, whenever I have an encounter, or there is a story happening to me in the woods, I would put that story down like I would in a diary or something, onto the stick. And I won't do that now, but I think that there will be an owl on top. Oh, it's also often the case with my sticks, and because I love owls, and a second, that always seems to be the first relative I encounter in the woods. Well, it's often returning from the old gentleman I'm caring for in the darkness. So small wonder you encounter an owl, and so in goes the owl on top. And I also appreciate the owl for its symbol, and so this is something that will go in there, and maybe I will meet a hare, or I got a little hedgehog friend in near the place where I live, and he always comes visiting, and he has the custom of snooting my boob, booping my finger with his snoot, and with his snout is correct pronunciation. And well, in goes Oshi, the little hedgehog, and a magical creature, by the way, which opens up the realm of the other world. And well, I am serious about that. I'm not joking about the other world or something, but I think, well, in our society we seem to have it back to front. And if you talk to indigenous persons, you can see that, well, it's nowhere like we think. There's not a portal, and there's not the other world is everywhere. And it can be whittling a stick, and it can be an owl, it can be something weird happening to you, it can be a vision, it can be a dream, it can actually in our society the closest that comes to explaining the other world is a combination of physics, metaphysics and psychology. And you always need to be aware what it is that you are seeing. Maybe it's just that it's make-believe. And there are some things that you can't explain yet. And what we do think is that a story is something like, it's a lie. It's not true. Mythology is a lie. Or religion is a lie. I'm not too fond of religions at the moment, and you might know why, but I don't want to talk about that. And even if I talk about spirits and stuff, that's not that I want to demean anyone's religion, and I don't. I pretty much think, apart from me loving a goddess and stuff, I'm also pretty fond of Jesus Christ, because and it's not contradictory, by the way. I don't want to talk about this on this channel. It's a pretty difficult topic, and people will be pissed off, and I don't want that. And but what I want to say is, if we are talking about rewilding, there's also a thing called spiritual rewilding, because we are living in a system that doesn't take mildly to you dreaming or being creative or believing in stories or fairy tales and what have you. By the way, I find that the Lord of the Rings conveys a lot of meaning too, and it's not. And if anyone, this is not a one-way street. If anyone tells me, well, the whole Bible is a lie and the whole Bible is a lie, I will always say, well, no, it's mythology and it's something else. And I know that a lot of Christians are, now I'm talking about it, well, fell into the trap. But it's a little bit hard to talk about this project without talking about these things. Because my mythology is not a swear word. It's nothing bad. It's not that demeaning anything. And I perfectly get that Christians talk about the Bible as a holy book that has come from God. And you get my uttermost respect for that. But as a mythologist, I must treat it as another mythology on a certain level. I grew up with my father being a nihilist and my mother being pretty religious, and but in a good way. She never talked about it. She just acted accordingly, and she was the epitome of charity. And even if she had nothing to eat, she would give her last breadcrumbs to someone who was still in more need than she was. So, and I would wish for people. Well, a friend of mine from Ireland says, less talky, more walky. You can talk a lot about Christianity, and that's fine with me. It's not. I will never ever disrespect your religion. But this does apply to Muslims too, to Buddhists, to Hindus, to Shintoists, to Shugendo, to everyone, to indigenous people, because I believe in the Whitsun one. And because we built a tower of Babel, and it all turned out the way our society will turn out too. It all crumbled down, and long story short, we got punished for that by losing our capability to understand each other. With the advent of the Whitsun Wonder, we suddenly could understand each other. And here's the culprit: you get a concept like that in every religion on earth, in every spirituality, in every belief worldwide, in every mythology. You get this concept, and you can even describe it with physiological terms. It's nothing of make-believe. It's biological fact or a psychological fact. What I am talking about is the concept of metakairos. Kairos, Eucharist, charity, which is not just helping those in need or helping those, but it's also community. You have that in Muslim belief, in Buddhist, Shintoist, Shugendo, in Druidism. And in Druidism it is called the Awen. The Awen is a concept of inspiration, and actually it's a little bit like a mathematical equation. You get the three rays of Anun, which are love, first and foremostly, knowledge, and in the middle there is what derives from love and wisdom. Love and wisdom add up to love and knowledge add up to wisdom, and it's pretty hard to achieve actually, because you need to love, you need to know, and I don't know anything, everything. I don't. Sometimes, and this is why I got confused. Because, take for instance plants. If you know a plant, well, you know the name, you know the botanical name, you know the systematics, you know, and this is pretty basic science. It's not that. This science is not contradictory to wisdom or love. And if you talk to scientists who really are worth their shit, you can see that they have a deep passion for that topic. That they are really, that's not that you have to know, and that you have to learn, but that you can learn, and that you can enjoy learning, and that this is a wonderful thing to have. And if you really love your science, you will also love wisdom. And this is what the term philosophy means. Philosophia. Loving the love of Sophia, who stands for wisdom. And this is a pretty euhemeristic way to explain it. The Awen as such stands for inspiration. And inspiration is something that's also pretty basic. It's something, you go out in the woods and you see a squirrel, and maybe that's your way of expressing it. You get out your sketchbook and then you draw that squirrel. Or you maybe that's not your piece of cake, being creative with artisan means, but you go home and tell a story about that squirrel that came across you. Well, you turn to your woman and you say, well, know what happened? There was this squirrel, and the squirrel was yelling at me or something, and that's inspiration too. It's really that simple. It's nothing, and it's nothing that happens in some esoteric ashram or what have you. It's just like that. It starts there. Where it can be headed, I don't know, because I don't know anything. But inspiration is something that you can train. And this is what this project is about. This is my staff. Holly, by the way, is a pretty great wood for that, because it's really dense and it's really heavy actually on you. I started it, and this little fellow stands for, well, maybe for the wanderer, for me, or for what have you. I like to start my sticks this way, but there's no rule saying that you can't do it otherwise. And so what I want to do now is and this is pretty prosaic. Where did I put it? Well, I got myself this little tip, and as you can see, it's not going anywhere right now, and I want to show you how to put on that tip. This is as I said, this is pretty prosaic, but this is what I believe in, that it's not always that it's magic isn't happening with fire and smoke. Magic is what happens if you are sitting calmly in the woods, enjoying a cup of tea, and maybe you made yourself that tea, and from stuff you foraged, and you need to know your plants in order to forage sensibly, and hey presto, that's knowledge you need. And wisdom is, say you really love chaga tea, and you really want your chaga tea, and you know that tree and where that chaga grows, and and want to drink your chaga tea next year too. And so what you do is you just follow the rule of 3. 1 part for you, 1 part for the tree, and 1 part for other foragers. And that's wisdom, because that way the chaga can recover, the birch won't die because it's in some symbiosis with the fungus, and you can return next year. And but as I said, less talky, more walky. What I want to do is I want to carve on a tip. This tip must follow loosely follow the taper on this tip, which by the way is made from stainless steel. I don't think it's hardened. If you look down there, I don't know if you can see this. You don't. But there is sort of a cross in it, which fixes the tip. And by the way, this is the knife you have seen recently in the short, and I'm putting it to use. And what I want to do is I want to add facets all around the diameter of the wood. What I like to do is, if you cut moving the stick, and don't do that, because that way you get some sort of a spirally shaving, and this will hinder your precision. And you just add facets, and also you want to lock your wrist, because if you don't, your wrist likes to do something like this, and you get this hollow in your cut. So you might want to try to practice locking your wrist. By the way, maybe sometimes it does happen. By the way, maybe you want to look out for something a little, if you are starting stuff like that. This is why I can only recommend you take hazel, because it's a cinch to carve. So we are left with something like this, and we can already check where this is headed. And you can see it's already fitting, and you should check for the depth. If you're like so, well, and you can see it's already happening here, and I think this would already you could already whack it on. And but what I want to do now is I want to create a little better fit by gently removing the edges of the facet I carved. That way it's nearing a round shape, and you can work your way all around it, and see there's a little bit of an angle to it. Try to remove this with my knife, not with a saw. And I also want this. If you if you are breaking the edges of what you have carved, I will remove that. You also get a less of a risk of it cracking, which it already has, but it has dried out pretty much. And what you also want is as clean an angle there as possible. And now I'm taking my tip. I can see there is a little room still to whack it into the cross, and if I do this, the tip will sit pretty great with the wood. You can also see there is this little hole which you can use to put a little screw through, and I also recommend that you make yourself some pitch resin and heat the pitch resin, put it on the stick, and then put on the tip. That way the wood will be sealed, and you can if you need to replace the tip or the staff or what have you, don't want that, I know, but this is it's happening, and so and like that you got your tip mounted, and these tips are pretty durable. And what you can also do is cleaning up the facets a little bit more by just gently working off the edges, so that it looks a little bit more. If you accidentally removed a little bit too much of the wood, you can also put some, you can always saw off a little portion of it, not too much, not the entire cone, but this is obviously the cleanest method. But if you are really need to make do, you could add some shavings inside, or wrap it with a rawhide or pitch twine or something, which also helps keeping the tip on. Don't forget to secure it though, because, well, that's better safe than sorry, and you don't want to lose that tip. They are not that cheap anymore, and well, this is a seemingly profane addition to my story stick, which will grow over the year, and I think I will provide you with the progress on it over the weeks and months and what have you. I often take my time, and it doesn't need to be finished in a year. It's just take your time with it, and this is part of the exercise. And just learn to see, not just look at things. And actually, this is not so much of a spiritual exercise. It's just a pretty profane thing to do. It's sitting in the woods and looking at things and watching things, and maybe observing the nature of things. You might ask yourself, well, what's the nature of a squirrel, or what's the nature of a hedgehog? And not in an esoteric manner, not in a you don't need to visit an ashram for that. But it is sort of a meditation, and it goes a long way to calm your mind too. So I'm not making fun out of meditation. I just think that we in the West maybe need a different approach to this, because we got it back to front. This spirituality isn't between the lids of colorful books. Not that I would say you can't learn from books. Quite the contrary. I love books. I studied 19 topics on the 19 subjects on university, including archaeology and philology, different kinds of literature, including English literature and Hasidic and little bit of Egyptian, Scandinavian literature, Old High German, Nether German, Old Dutch, Old English, and Old Norse, what have you. And I'm not saying that to brag, but because I want you to really, really, really precisely get my meaning. There are books and books, and even the good books, and exclamation marks, can be outdated. If you, for instance, receive a philology from the 19th century or from the middle of the 20th century even, well, you might be misled, and that's something that's not the fault of the book, but this is due to science always moving on. And you see, there are millions of scientists worldwide putting a lot of love and energy into furthering knowledge and furthering science and furthering wisdom. By working their asses off, literally. And often, especially with the humanities, look at me, it doesn't pay for a living, but people wouldn't have it any other way. Talk to an archaeologist, and you know that what really makes me laugh my arse off is if someone says, well, deep archaeology keeps that from us. Ever talked to an archaeologist and poked him a little bit and said, oh well, what's these finds? And by the way, one great way to really annoy an archaeologist is saying, well, deep archaeology keeps that from us. But in fact, there are reptiloid moon Nazis from Alpha Centauri responsible for the rise of civilizations, and if anyone is a person of color, there's no way he or she could, well, he could build a pyramid, so it must be ancient aliens. And if you do that, after any archaeologist is done with whacking your face to pulp, he will give you a lecture on everything that he has learned during his life, and different positions on science and everything. So the information is there, and that's so. What I want to say is, there are people who want to keep knowledge from us, but it's not deep archaeology. And it's not science. Well, enough said. It's just, it's driving me mad that we look for the knowledge also for spirituality in fantasy books. Fantasy books are awesome. I love fantasy, and I write novels myself. But I would never claim that they would convey the truth in a direct manner. You can receive any mythology and get a lot of knowledge out of it, and or wisdom. Any mythology, any genuine mythology, and there are nominators for that in order how to discern one from the other. And there's also a good story. You can enjoy a good story. Why not? Why not write about ancient aliens? And I can enjoy Erich von Däniken well, because it's just, if you read it as a fantasy novel, no harm done. If you take it for science, well, then you throw your beloved fantasy novel in a wolf pit, and this wolf pit is academical discussion. And if the academical method, which is merciless but also really effective in order to discern false knowledge, because this is what we need to do. This is science. This is what science is all about. And we can't learn if we claim everything's fine. No, we need to suffer in order to. Well, it must hurt. Science hurts. And if I were like, if anyone told me, well, your carving's like shit, do it another way. And my carving, after I applied the scientific method, my carving is objectively shit. And someone says, well, do it the other way, then I must at least consider doing it the other way. Or I find another method. That's what science is about. That's what inspiration is about. And this is what love and wisdom are about. And love your subject so much that you have a passion for it, and a passion is suffering. As sometimes you need to suffer to find the truth. And I think that Storystick is it doesn't need to be, don't get me wrong, it's just an innocent project you can do whittling in the woods. But it can also you see, it also has a little bit of a grave meaning. And I once made myself a stick from Hawthorne, and then I didn't have any health insurance, and twisted my ankle, and I was needing that stick for 1.5 years, and no doctor for me, so I needed to cure my ankle myself with the means that I had, and it turned out alright. I still have I still can pretty much precisely predict the weather, and well, it hurts still, but well, that's how it is. If you think you go through life unscathed, then you get something wrong. But in that case, that Storystick really not only saved me because I could lean on it and find my balance and overcome my pain, but because it showed me the things I had experienced. And imagine carving yourself such a stick, and well, we all get old. We all get older, and let us hope that we will not be disabled in this shitty world that we are creating at the moment. But if we are, we need something to lean on. And well, relying on other human beings is sometimes, not always, but sometimes a little bit dubious. So, well, you're not leaning on that length of holly alone, but you're also leaning on the experiences you had, on the wonders you encountered. That little hedgehog that boops your finger all the time you meet it, that squirrel yelling insults at you, or that little robin coming across when you're coming over when you're in the garden, or well, that hare that you saw, or what have you, that little flower you saw, or interesting piece of rock, or well, also maybe your religion. You might carve anything into it, from a vajra to a cross to what have you. If it that's the thing. This is and has been a companion for humans for times immemorial, and I think I love that project because I'm pretty much aware of my mortality, and because I've come to learn the hard way that everything you have can be taken from you in the blink of an eye, and so I think even though I would love this stick to be more. At the moment, my life's not the nicest, not the most beautiful there is, or is not that it would leave nothing to be desired, and I'm not asking for a lot of things, but no complaining, by the way. It's just a point that I'm making. But I think, personally, that not even then you should start something like this, because what this does is it's teaching you something. It's teaching you to look out for the good things, for that squirrel yelling insults at you, for that little hedgehog, for that flower beside the trail. Maybe for your religion, maybe for Jesus Christ or Buddha, or it's something. It's your relationship with your spirituality. And add a medicine wheel, or what have you, add some feathers or wrapping, or put some shiny rocks into it, or on it that you found. This is what I mean. It's nothing big, and doesn't make you better than anyone, but it can help your resilience, and I think resilience is something that we really need in these days. Also, well, sitting in the woods whittling is something that goes a long way to preserve your sanity, and when I'm speaking out about mental health and stuff, I'm talking from a perspective where I really realize that it is hard, not only for me, but for everyone out there who has not lost his wits or her wits altogether already. And well, we used to say, well, that guy is a madman, and we meant it as a compliment. And I would still say something like this. But honestly, I think we are making fun of something pretty bad, and because insanity is weaponized, and that's about it with the politics. Because it's not about what's wrong, but quite the contrary. So it's about what's right. It's about what's good for us, and what helps us with our resilience, and stuff like that. To me, at least, conveys meaning. It helps me keep my mind on top of things, and connecting with nature, because, well, you learn how to see that squirrel, you learn how to see that hedgehog. And by the way, don't do this with a hedgehog that's wild. The one I keep meeting lives in our quarter, and lives on the garbage of other people, and that's actually it's a very sad thing that he comes over whooping my finger, because he's been fed by people, and I just hope that no one would do some daft shit with him, and because humans are weird that way. They always need to hurt things and people and what have you. But so that's sad. Maybe a reminder of the good things. I would be glad if you could enjoy making something like this. It doesn't need to be a staff. It can be a cane. It can be maybe a little stick jar, just a little stick, or a comfort bird, or what have you, or an array of comfort animals that you keep in your pocket. And not everyone can take his stick into the town hall or something. And thing is, there are a lot of ways to keep your resilience like that. Not just stuff or something. It's just, by coincidence, it's the thing that I'm making at the moment, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And you know how I mean that when I say stay sane and healthy, because it's the most important thing that you can do at the moment. Don't take it it's all so serious. It's not serious. It's just a stick. And don't make everything a religion too. Even if I talked a lot about spirituality, it's not that boom. There will be that vision. If you get a vision, you can carve it into your stick, but you don't have to either. It's not that you need to. Just if you enjoy the project, and you might want to join me on that, because it's not the last carving there is, and it's also, I think there will be a different array of carvings, so stay tuned for that. And I hope you enjoy the forest. This is what I also want to say with this, because that's what it's all about. Not some crazy notion. Just get out there like you would have with your parents, or grams or what have you. Maybe you get memories like that. I would say, let me know in the comments, but there's that problem that I am a little bit in want of internet at the moment. So still, as I said, the humanities don't pay for a living, and and I get a little bit distracted because I just needed to elaborate this piece of beard. And the thing is, take your time with it. That's a secret. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here, even if I'm a little bit difficult at times. You are deeply appreciated, folks, and I hope you find something good, and that aids in your resilience. That said, stay sane and healthy, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.